that amplifies those voices, stories, and reports that make the difference. This is Akojopo News, 88.7 FM, the people's voice.
This is Kunle Amzat Studio, Akojopo 88.7 FM. Welcome to News Around the World.
Good evening. Welcome to the news around the world on Akojopo 88.7 FM Ibadan, the most listened to radio station. I am Olamide Badmos. First, the headlines. NAF deploys surveillance aircraft to track abducted Oyo teachers, pupils. Oyo Police take media to site where ex-minister Adelabu's relative was held by kidnappers. Huge crowds throng Madrid streets for Pope's open-air mass. Central African Republic to accept third country deportees from U.S. Shakira, Burna Boy to perform a 2026 World Cup opening ceremony in Mexico. Now the details. The Nigerian Air Force has deployed an aerial surveillance aircraft to support efforts to rescue teachers and pupils abducted from Yawota and Auro Eshiele communities in Orire local government area of Oyo State. A statement today by NAF spokesman Air Commodore Eyime Ejudame said Governor Seyi Makinde disclosed this on Friday during a courtesy visit by the representative of the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, and the Air Officer Commanding Logistics Command, Air Vice Marshal Abubakar Saleh. According to Governor Makinde, intelligence gathered from the surveillance missions has been instrumental in tracking developments and coordinating efforts aimed at securing the release of the victims. The governor also appealed to the residents of the affected communities and the state at large to remain patient and support ongoing security operations, and assured them that all necessary resources were being deployed to ensure the successful resolution of the incident. Speaking on behalf of the Chief of Air Staff, Sule reaffirmed the Air Force's commitment to supporting efforts to secure the release of the abducted victims, as he conveyed the solidarity of the Nigerian Air Force with the government and people of your state, stressing that the service would continue to work with other security agencies to address security challenges. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has refuted reports claiming that President Bola Tinubu approved plans to open Nigeria's airtime credit market to 9 new operators, saying it was neither aware nor involved in the claims attributed to it. FCCPC Director of Corporate Affairs, Onaje Ijagu, in a statement issued today, said reports suggesting it submitted the names of local fintech companies to the presidency as part of efforts to reform the airtime credit market were inaccurate. The report, published by several national newspapers on Friday and Saturday, alleged that Tinubu had endorsed FCCPC proposals to restructure the airtime credit sector and approved 9 Nigerian fintech firms to participate in the market. FCCPC, however, maintained that it had no involvement in the reported approvals and reiterated that the regulatory framework under which the firms were reportedly approved remains suspended. The Oyo State Commissioner of Police, Abimbola Olugbemiga, has today led journalists on an on-the-spot assessment of the hideout where suspected kidnappers allegedly kept the immediate past Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu's relatives, during their abduction ordeal. Speaking during the inspection, the police commissioner said the operation that led to the arrest of the suspect and the discovery of hideouts was achieved through sustained intelligence gathering and coordinated security efforts by operatives of the Oyo State Police Command, stressing that the success of the operation demonstrated the commitment of the police to combating kidnapping and other violent crimes in the States.
You have seen it all. They will kidnap from the town and drive them down here to hide them for maybe they don't want anybody to know the whereabouts of whoever is the victim. So what is there is that you have seen that this house is within premises. People have been seeing them coming in here without anybody reporting the conduct. And according to those who we have, the victims that we have interviewed, they said they will be hearing what the happenings in the other compound, but they cannot come out. So obviously, what is there is that if you see something, you say something. If they have done that, maybe for a while, we will have been able to arrest them before now. After the incident on the 3rd of this month, we had a technical intelligence, and based on that, we make follow-up, which resulted to this. So it was purely through intelligence.
The commissioner also dismissed widespread rumors that Yoruba Nation agitator Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, played any role in this rescue operation. According to the police commissioner, the operation was carried out solely by security agencies, insisting that claims linking any individual or group to the rescue were false and misleading. As the Celestial Church of Christ celebrates Children Harvest worldwide today, children of the Celestial Church of Christ, God with Us Parish, Oloshe Adeleye Ibadan, were given the mantle to anchor this church program as part of efforts to build them in the way and doctrine of God. The initiative comes amid growing concerns over the recent abduction of pupils and teachers in Oyo State as religious leaders stress the need to raise children in faith and moral discipline. As the child preacher Tomishi Ayola in a sermon admonished all the children to always listen to God and their parents for the sake of their future. In an interview with Agidigbo FM News, other children of the church like Fayomi Morianu, Adediran Celestina, and Kolawole Nifemi urged parents to teach their children the way of the Lord. Now it is time to link up with our United Kingdom studio for the foreign news.
News from Pelu studio at Gidigbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Olushola Damlola. UK Deputy Prime Minister David Lammy has called US Vice President J.D. Vance to tell him he was wrong in the comment he made about the murder of teenager Henry Nowak. Vance blamed the death of the 18-year-old British student who was fatally stabbed by Bikram Digwa last year on the mass invasion of migrants. He said the boy would still be alive today if the last few generations of European elites had stood their ground against the politics of self-hatred and mass invasion of migrants. While responding, the Deputy Prime Minister said the killing has got nothing to do with mass migration. The suspect falsely claimed he had been racially abused and had acted in self-defense after murdering Nowak in Southampton in December last year. Digwa, who is British and was born in the UK, was jailed for life for murdering Nowak with a blade he claimed he was carrying for religious reasons. More than 1 million people lined the streets of Madrid earlier today as Pope Leo celebrated an open-air mass in the Spanish capital. Worshippers waved Spanish and Vatican flags and shouted, "Long live the Pope." During the sermon, the Pope urged those gathered to express their faith by helping others, saying God identifies with the poor, the downtrodden, and those who are alone and forsaken. He said they should not look at religion as a museum of the past to be visited, but a school of faith from which to draw even today. And that ends the news from Kunle Hamzat Studio at Gidigbo FM, United Kingdom. I am Olushola Damlola.
Welcome back. We shall also be moving to our Maryland studio, United States, for more foreign news.
News from Kunle Hamzat Studio at Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Soya. Central African Republic has agreed to receive migrants from other countries who have been deported by the United States, according to sources, marking the latest effort by the Trump administration to secure agreements with African nations aimed at speeding up deportations. The United States has already transferred so-called third country deportees to several African nations, including the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Equatorial Guinea, under agreements that have drawn criticism from Senate Democrats who say the deal have cost tens of millions of dollars. Many of the deportees had previously obtained legal protections from U.S. immigration courts, preventing their return to their home countries. However, human rights organizations argue that the third country agreement enabled the United States to bypass those protections by sending migrants to other nations instead. South Korean President Lee Jae-myung on Sunday ordered a comprehensive investigation into a ballot shortage that disrupted recent local elections, saying both prosecutors and police would take part in the probe. The local elections held last week were marred by a shortage of ballots that left some eligible voters unable to cast their vote. The incident prompted the resignation of the head of the National Election Commission, NEC, the independent body responsible for overseeing the election. In the aftermath, thousands of protesters have gathered outside a ballot counting center in Seoul, calling for the election to be rerun. And that ends the news from Kule Amzat Studio at Gidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya.
Welcome back once again. Now in the exciting world of sports. Shakira will headline the opening ceremony of the 2026 World Cup in Mexico City. FIFA announced on Thursday, with the Colombian superstar set to perform the tournament's official song ahead of the opening match. The singer will take the stage at Estadio Azteca before host Mexico face South Africa on June 11, performing Dai Dai, an Italian phrase meaning "let's go" or "come on," alongside Nigerian artist Burna Boy, also Colombian reggaeton star J Balvin, and South African singer-songwriter Tyler will also feature in the ceremony as FIFA launches the first 48-team World Cup, which will be staged across Mexico, the United States, and Canada. FIFA said opening ceremonies will take place before the first match played in each of the three host nations, a departure from previous tournaments that featured a single opening event. The 2026 World Cup will be the biggest in the tournament's history, expanding from 32 to 48 teams and increasing the number of matches from 64 to 104, and the tournament opens at the iconic Estadio Azteca and concludes in New York, Jersey, after 39 days of competition across 16 host cities in North America. To wrap up the news this evening, here is a recap of the headlines. NAF deploys surveillance aircraft to track abducted Oyo teachers, pupils. Oyo Police take media to site where ex-minister Adelabu's relative was held by kidnappers. Huge crowd throng Madrid Street for Pope's open-air mass. Central African Republic to accept third country deportees from U.S. Shakira, Burna Boy to perform at 2026 World Cup opening ceremony in Mexico.
Don't forget that you can listen to us live on our website www.agidigbo88.7fm.com. You can also download our mobile app on Google Play Store and iOS. Simply search for Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Follow us on Facebook at Agidigbo 88.7 FM, on Twitter and Instagram at Agidigbo 887 FM, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have news stories and tips for us, contact our newsroom on 070-8714-4865 or send us a mail on newsroom@agidigbo887fm.com.
And before we go this evening, here is a quick tape. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Finally, we have come to the end of the news around the world on Agidigbo 88.7 FM Ibadan, the most listened to radio station. I am Olamide Badmos. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information
is power. At Agidigbo 88.7 FM, we bring the news from top to bottom.
The Oyo State Independent Electoral Commission, OISEC, has called for continuous collaboration.
We bring you reports from Oyo State.
The Oyo State House of Assembly has called for thorough investigation.
Southwest Nigeria and the